This is video 2 of our training videos. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to our CLESO dental grade system. CLESO is a word that stands for Clinical Evaluation Solutions. So it's just an acronym. When we're in Teams and we go to our CLESO dental grade system, once all of the student files have been loaded, you will be able to see all of the DH1 grade files and all the DH2 grade files. So DH1s will have grade files for preclinic. It's a very, it's much smaller version than the regular clinical grade file, but it is designed to help them get used to the systems that we utilize in a regular clinic. But what you're going to do as a faculty member is go to this page and then find your student's grade file and click on it, and it's going to open in the Excel app. So I'm going to go ahead and open this, and it's going to open in the Excel app, and you'll notice that it's asked me to sign in. This is really important. If one of these apps opens without asking you to sign in, that means somebody else is still signed in. So you're going to need to sign them out and then sign yourself in. Otherwise, the system recognizes that it's the other person who's making all of these moves. There are some fail-safes built into our grade system in case that happens erroneously. However, you want to try to make sure every day that you sign out of both Excel and the Microsoft Teams app. So we're going to kind of drill that into your head because there's a lot of change and a lot to learn. So we want to just make sure that everybody starts to get that correct. So I'm going to go ahead and log in to Excel. And the reason is you can't open this file unless you're an approved person to open the file. So when students use this file, all they can do is download the file. They cannot sign in to make changes into the file. So they only see their file, and they can only view their file. They cannot make changes to their file on the server. If for some weird reason there was a missed permission and a student did incidentally do something in a grade file, it would be obvious to us because it tells us who has modified the file at every time. So I'm going to go ahead and open my Excel app here. It's got me open. Inside the grade file, you should see your name at the upper right corner. You should also see autosave on. What's going to happen is any changes that you make to this file will automatically save to the server. So this is the front page of the electronic grade system. And our front page, the students can see all of their requirements. And at the top of the page, they can see this is Clinic 2 and what percentage of requirements are complete to date. And then they have their name will be here and how many points they've earned to date. So as a faculty member, you'll be able to, just from entering that student's grade file, have a pretty good idea of where they're at in clinic. So if we're halfway through the semester and this student has only completed 20% of his or her requirements, that would be a good red flag to you that this student is struggling. And then you'll see other ways in this grade system where you can see and hone in on ways that that student might be struggling. But essentially, this front page replaces the clinical requirement guide that we had. So anytime you have a question about what qualifies a requirement, it is listed right here on this front page. So I'll show you, for instance, calculus detection. This is a competency this semester. And then it must average a C3. It can be done after classification. It gives you all the rules for that requirement right on the front page. The students have view access to this file, so they see the same exact thing. The second page in our grade system is the daily log. The daily log replaces our old student log sheet, so the orange sheet that students used to fill out. On the daily log, now one thing, just to reiterate, students do not enter any data into their grade file. They only have view access. You guys, as faculty, are the ones who enter all of the data. I said that kind of funny, didn't I? Data. Okay, so every single day, because this is a daily log, you're going to log that student was there that day and what their code of conduct was. And this is for each clinic session. So on this daily log, I'm going to enter the date. And when I enter the date, it's going to automatically populate a 1 in code of conduct. If you need to give that student a 2 or a 0, this is a drop-down menu. You can enter 0. If you enter 0, then some other cells are going to open up. So what does the yellow mean? Yellow always means that you as a faculty member need to enter data. So here I see yellow AM or PM. I'm going to put AM, and as soon as I have populated that data, it's going to go ahead and turn it purple. Patient name. This is where you're just going to list any patients that student saw for the day. If the student had no patient experience, then we're going to mark that, no patient experience. And that's going to help our advisors determine when students need to be deducted from their course grade for excessive downtime. And then I have one more yellow box, which is the professor box. And here we're going to put all 3 of our initials, first, middle, and last. Because we have so many faculty members, many of us have the same initials, first and last initials. So it's important that we use all 3 initials. That way our advisors can look in that grade file and know who graded that on what day. So I'm going to put my initials. Now let's say that this student ended up needing a 0 in code of conduct. These other lines that opened up, this is the category that you are assigning for a 0. Category can be found in the clinic manual, but once you assign the category, that's going to turn purple, and then it tells you, when you click on this box, professor comments. The professor may enter general comments in this box. You're welcome to enter comments here at any time. But if you give a 2 or a 0, you're required. So that's why you notice when it defaults to 1, those boxes stay gray. But the moment I change it to a 0 or a 2, it requires me to put in information. So let's say that this student was tardy to clinic. I'm just going to go ahead and populate that. You can type as much as you want in this box to let everyone know why you gave that 2 or why you gave that 0. So as you guys know, in Clinic 2, which is what this template is based on, in Clinic 2, a 0 takes away 10 clinic points. If you give a 2, it adds 10 clinic points. So if I go back to my home page, I can see that this student has negative 10 points because there's nothing else populated in this student's grade file. So right now they're in the whole 10 points. But essentially this is how the daily log works. You're going to enter the date of each clinic session and enter data here. It's perfectly fine when you have downtime to go ahead and populate this data for the day, because if you want to go back and give a 2 or give a 0, you can change that at any time. So my suggestion would be to develop a routine and figure out maybe in the beginning of the day when the students are checking their patients in, maybe that's the time that I'm going to check journals and I'm going to go ahead and enter daily logs. Maybe you want to wait till the end. Just find a routine that works so that you're not missing any data. Okay, in my next video, I'm going to talk about comprehensive patient care and how to grade that, and how we can utilize the system that we have to identify a struggling student. So go ahead and join me for video number 3.